Hey guys, what's going on? It's Steve Cronin. Today I'm going to show you how to complete any task and organize any group of tasks using an application called Trello. That's coming up! Alright guys, so if it is your first time watching this channel, I'd like to let you know that this YouTube channel is all about how to increase focus and productivity in your professional life. And sometimes that involves using different tools or applications, and today I'm going to show you how I accelerate the completion and organize my tasks with an application called Trello, available for the web and as applications on your phone as well. If you happen to like this little productivity hack, be sure to check out my website, hackingfocus.com, where you can get a free ebook with more focus and productivity hacks available at hackingfocus.com. Alright, so let's get started and jump in on my computer. Alright, and so here we are at my computer, and the first thing you want to do is go to Trello.com, Trello.com, and sign up for the service. It's free. You sign up online through your favorite web browser. There's also an app on your phone that you can kind of pair it with. It's really cool, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and log into my Trello account now. Alrighty, so I've logged into my account. You can see my name up here, Steve Cronin or Steven Cronin, and you see all of my current boards. Don't worry about this. I have a lot of projects already in gear here, but we're going to go down here to create a new board, and I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So I'm going to pretend, and you can use this for anything, but I'm going to pretend that I'm setting up a board kind of what I already do with YouTube and social media. And so how do I kind of like plan all this stuff out? So I already have this kind of existing here in something called Biohacking. So we're just going to go ahead and call this Nootropic Steve, but maybe it can really be anything you want. I'm not going to talk about teams today. A team you can create with other people so you can collaborate together, but this is going to be more of a solo lesson, a solo exercise. So the board is created, and this is what an empty Trello board looks like. Not much there, pretty much just a screen, a blue screen. So let's go ahead and start to populate this. Okay, so I'm going to explain kind of like the methodology of how Trello works as I'm going to go ahead and build this board. And we're going to start to add columns in here. And the first column I want to add, I'm going to name key. And this is just so I have a color-coded understanding of the different categories I'm currently working on, because we're going to be working on a lot of different categories of tasks at once. So we're going to start to name those categories now. So I'm going to put one as YouTube. So this will be for any kind of like YouTube tasks. I'm going to generalize and put www for like anything I do on the World Wide Web. We'll go ahead and talk about paid content. Let's do one called networking. Maybe we'll do one called press. And let's put one down called, let's call it research. Now, I said that they were color-coded, right? So what we've done here so far is we've created a column, right? And in this column, there's these different elements you can kind of click and move around. I've given them different names. These elements you can actually open, and there's further things you can do inside. What I'm going to do right now is simply change the color. I'm going to go to this little edit button here and change the color of the labels just so I can kind of more easily see them throughout the Trello document. And I'm going to do all of that now for every single one of them. All right, so now we have our key with these different sections. If I wanted to, I could explain further what this category means. So if I wanted to write a comment in here or even edit the description of this card in Trello, and this is what is called a card, then I can say YouTube. This category of work covers everything I do within the bounds of youtube.com. Now, that's a pretty bad description, but for the purposes of this video, I think it will work fine. And as you see, when you populate a card, you're going to get these little lines down here at the bottom that make the card actually longer, which just indicates that you've put some information inside of it. All right, so now we're going to make a second column. I'm going to call this static, but let's come back to that. I'm going to come back and fill that out later. We're going to create a third column, and we're going to call it to do, right? This column is just going to represent all the tasks I have to do based on these categories. And if I need to add more categories or delete categories, I can do that as I go. Okay, so let's look at to do. So right now, maybe I'm working on a YouTube video, and I'm going to call it, let's see here, how to work late without compromising your sleep. Now, to know that this is kind of like a YouTube video, I'm just going to go ahead and add the label and put a red marker there. So now I can match this back to the YouTube key. So I know that this is either a YouTube video or something to do with YouTube. Okay, so now I open this up and maybe I can edit the description. The description I can just put in like something simple like this is a YouTube video. Obviously, when you start to kind of work through your own patterns, you're gonna discover your own patterns and habits for how you work best. And maybe you already know, like, hey man, I know that this is a YouTube video. So for me personally, there's a lot of things that go into making a YouTube video. There isn't a methodology I follow, and maybe that's something I can keep track of on Trello if I'm still trying to figure it out. Now I probably wouldn't, because it's kind of like all in my subconscious and it just comes out. There are things that I don't have to remember, but maybe this is something that you would want to document. So for me, the main parts to making a YouTube video is having a good title, designing a thumbnail, writing a decent and SEO-friendly description, getting those keywords, and then each video having a call to action at the end. So maybe what I want to do, and I can come over here with these little features under the add column, I can add a checklist for all that stuff. So I'm going to call this checklist simply checklist, and I'm going to type in title, thumbnail, description, keywords, and a call to action. So as I complete these, I can actually check them off, and you can see my progress starts to go until eventually it is all completed. And in your activity log, it will let you know exactly when you completed each part. I'm gonna go ahead and unselect these now, however. And in the comments below, maybe I can keep track of this stuff here. So if I want to, and there's different kind of coding, but like, so I think double star is gonna make this bold. So for title, I can be like title ideas. Maybe how to work late without compromising your sleep isn't the best title, right? Maybe there are some more titles I can kind of play around with. And so in this comment here, I can kind of actually do work on this YouTube video, all in Trello, coming up with different title ideas. Now, another cool feature is the due date feature in this right-hand column here, and I can change the due date of this particular card. So today it is Monday the 15th. Maybe I want this video completed by tomorrow, and I would go ahead and click the 16th, hit save, and now there's a little yellow alert here saying on this card saying, hey, this is pretty close. It's yellow, it's due soon, and looks you have 0 out of 5 tasks completed. So I know I can work on this. Now maybe there was something really complicated about this. Like maybe the thumbnail for some description was taking a long time to finish. So we could go ahead and delete that out of this video. We could make a new card and type in thumbnail : how to work late without compromising your sleep. So you can break out different projects, and maybe this guy here, I'm not gonna have, I'm gonna make this guy red, maybe I'm not going to have him do until, let's say, we don't need a checklist. We're gonna have him do maybe, let's say, Wednesday. All right, so I'm gonna make a new column here called in progress, and I'm gonna make another column here called completed, and I'm gonna make it called completed YouTube. What I tend to do, and you don't have to do this, is make a column for each completed category rather than having one column with all my completed tasks in them. It looks like I'm working on these title ideas, so because I've started this, I'm gonna go ahead and move this into the in progress column so I can really have focus on what is in progress right now, and it is this column. So this is the only thing that I am currently working on. When using Trello, it's really important to think about SMART goals, assigning SMART goals to these cards that you move around these columns. And a SMART goal, SMART is actually an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Essentially, you want something that is you want a task that's incredibly narrow. You understand what it takes to complete it. You understand what the task is. It's something that you can measure. So instead of saying like, I'm gonna make some YouTube videos next week, it's like, I'm gonna make 3 YouTube videos next week. Achievable, you want to be able to complete the task. You wanna have a game plan for how to accomplish it. It should be relevant to what project it is you're working on. Maybe it is not as time sensitive as other things. And then time bound is the last, the T in smart, time bound. You want to have a date to complete it. And Trello has the tools in here to make all of your cards actually SMART goals through all these, the checklists, the due dates, the comments, so you can make sure that you are setting yourself up for success. SMART goals, really, really, really important in terms of utilizing Trello properly. So I'm gonna make another card here, and I'm gonna call it, let's say, Read Smart Drugs and Nutrients, which is a book. So that would be under the kind of research category. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this purple. I'm going to open this up here, and I'm gonna create a checklist, and I'm gonna say, read chapter 1, add. Read chapter 2, read chapter 3, and so on. And then I'm going to make this due, let's say, next Wednesday. So now I'm going to, I've actually read the entire book, but let's say I've already read the first chapter. So I'm going to check that off, move this under the in progress column, and then I'm actually going to add a completed research. Maybe I want to add something else. So I'll say identify 3 ideas from this book that could be turned into 3 YouTube videos. That way, I'm researching something, I'm reading something, but I'm also kind of getting a next step in here too to potentially make another card in the future. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make some more cards here. YouTube interview shortlist. Maybe there's some people that I want to interview on my YouTube channel soon. We'll do write 5 blog posts for stevecronin.com. We'll make that in the www, so we'll have that as a blue category. Maybe we'll just say read the 4-hour work week and go ahead and make this purple. All right, so you already know how to kind of dig in here and write comments and make checklists and everything and due dates. And so maybe we're going to populate all this stuff. Hey, this is complete. This has been read. I've identified the 3 ideas from this book. Maybe I want to turn that into a new card. So I'll say 3 YouTube videos from Smart Drugs and Nutrients. And this will kind of be a card that's created out of this one because we'll say that this has been completed. And also, if you open up this and grab the URL when you have a card open, you can kind of copy and paste that in here. So identify 3 ideas from this book that could be turned into 3 YouTube videos. Boom, there it is. So there is the link. If I need it, I can also add it into the comment section below so I know what this card kind of turned into. So as you can see, it's really neat to just kind of be able to look at this, and you can look at a lot of different categories at once and move these cards back and forth. Maybe they're in progress, maybe you want to stop working on them, put them back in your to-do column, and if you as you complete them, you can see these columns on the right pile up. I find this as an incredible way to go ahead and complete tasks in up to even 10 different categories at the same time. And remember, your in progress column here, this is kind of like your focus column, right? This is what you're working on that day and trying to ignore all the other columns behind it, so you know exactly where to hone in. Now, I personally like to add another column in here called static. And so we're gonna go back into this. I like having a static column, and the key column is kind of static, meaning it doesn't move. But I like having a static column of cards pretty much for reference. To do in progress, completed, these are something that you move cards in and out of, right? Or hopefully you eventually all move into the completed. But for static, these are cards that are stationary, that have important reference information for you. So for example, I might have one called YouTube video requests. Right? And I'll populate this with YouTube ideas that you guys give me, right? When I'm reading through your comments, you guys say, hey, can you make a video on this? I'm gonna put it into here. Maybe I wanna have one called affiliate link shortlist, right? Like there's a lot of, I am affiliated with some companies like onit.com, for example, and maybe instead of going into my email and grabbing affiliate links all the time, maybe I can just kind of keep them right here. I find this methodology for kind of, instead of just writing to-do lists on a whiteboard saying to do and then a long list of stuff, This allows you to really track how much progress you're making, and you can narrow down your tasks into these cards as deep as you want to. And you can add dates. It's really all about making your SMART goals and applying those utilizing Trello so you can complete any task or groups of tasks you wish. Not only do I use this for YouTube, but I use this in my personal life, and I use it for my day job as well. All right, that's it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to this channel for future videos regarding focus and productivity. Thanks for sticking around this long. So appreciate it, and I will see you next time. And take care, everybody.